Now that we have configured our auditorium, it's time to move on to the next element, that is our exhibition area and exhibition zone. So if you look at the exhibition tab from the left column here, you'll see that you have two different kinds of settings under exhibition. One of them is the exhibition page setting. So this is going to configure our exhibition area. And here you will start seeing exhibition booth, which is your individual booths that we're going to be designing on the exhibition area. So before we do that, we're going to have to move on to exhibition page configuration. Rotating image settings and sponsor logos are for your branding. First, you need to go into exhibition page configurations and add a page setting there. So I'm going to go ahead and delete any existing setting that I might have there, and there you go. Now I'm going to go ahead and add an exhibition page configuration. Doing that is very simple, like every other template that we have added for the elements that we have learned so far. We have to follow the same drill here. So I'm just going to call this as exhibition zone. The color for my tag is going to be orange, so I'm going to copy this code and I'm going to paste it here. Tooltip text is going to be click for exhibition zone. I'm going to go ahead and choose my exhibition file template. So we have a bunch of creators ready that we can use to create our entire exhibition area. So I'm going to go ahead and choose this template here. I'm going to open it, and there you go. There you should have it. Now that we have done that, we would want to put in the coordinates for the hotspot that is going to be displayed on the lobby page. So the hotspot that you configure under the exhibition page configuration over here is going to be reflected on your lobby. So that is from where your user, your guest and your attendees can navigate to the exhibition zone and look at the various different exhibition salts that we are going to configure after this, where you can display your branding, where you can display your client logos, where you can display your sponsor branding. So all of that is possible. So we are going to go ahead and position the hotspot on the lobby. So I want my exhibition area to be here. Since you've deleted that configuration, that should go from here. Yeah, so I'm going to add a hotspot here again. So what I need to do is I need to open my image in Paint. So I'm going to quickly access my resources, and I'm going to go ahead and open my working file with Paint. Sorry about that. Just open this with Paint, and there you go. So I'm just going to zoom this out, and yeah, this is your exhibition area. Now, something that you would want to notice here is that all the image slots that we have worked with so far have been, laid out boxes, but here you see that the boxes are in a perspective view. So we're going to learn how to add, any sort of images here in this perspective view quickly. So doing that is very simple. All you need to go is go in the backend, and first we're just going to add the hotspot there, for which we just need to open the lobby page in Paint once again, because the hotspot is going to be reflecting on the lobby page. So I'm going to open that first so that we can pick up the coordinates for where we want the hotspot to be. So I want my hotspot to appear here. So you know the drill, you just click on the coordinate that you want to pick up, and I think that works fine for me. So it's 1385 and 707. So I'm going to go ahead and add that here. 1385 and 70 7. Now width and height, you all know that the standard width and height for your hotspot is 20 by 20. So I've put that value here and I'm just going to go ahead and save this. So my exhibition area hotspot should become active again. Now when I click on this hotspot, so I think it needs to be positioned again. It's not positioned rightly, so I'm going to take a different coordinate and I'm going to go ahead with 1383 and 671. So we're going to open that setting again and so I'm going to change that to 1383 and 671. That should position it correctly. Let's check. And there you go. That's better than where it was earlier. So once we're done doing all of that, once we're done adding all the elements, we can always go back and sort of align everything to be, like a finishing drill that we do after we've positioned everything. So you see that these hotspots are not in alignment. So I'm just, once I've done adding everything, I'm going to come back to each element and I'm going to rectify these errors, which is very simple to do. Uh, for example, if we were to bring this hotspot up, what we could do is just open this template into Paint and pick a new hotspot, and then I would have to go into my 533 and 677. So I would have to go to configure the hotspot for engagement zone. You'll remember that we added that from our lobby page. So we'll have to go on hotspots on the lobby, and that is where we can change the coordinates for engagement zone. So we want our new coordinates to be positioned slightly higher. So we're going to position it over here. That should do it. So 531 and 663. 531 and 633. Is just a small change that we are making, and that should reflect here, and now both of them should be aligned, and that is a slightly higher value than we were expecting, so I'm going to pick something on the lower end. So 693, I'm just going to change one value there. I'm going to change this to 693, and let's see what does that do. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So yeah, so this is pretty much a sort of a trial and error thing. And of course, the last time that we did it, what we did was we recorded this value that was 537 and 689. 537 and 689. And now to ensure that you align both your hotspots, all you need to do is, remember where you picked up that new value from, 537 and 689. So this is pretty, close. Yep, there you go, 537 and 689. Now all you need to do is hold down your shift key and, draw this sort of a line. You could also use your pen tool to do this, and you should be at, and just click on escape, and you should be at your new coordinate. Once you click on that, it should give you your new value, which is 1385 and 691. So 1385 and 691. Going to change that on my exhibition page. 1385 and 691. So we're going to have to configure that. 1385 and 691, and this should solve our alignment issue on the lobby. So when I refresh that, you'll see that both of them are aligned now. They're on the same level. So it is very easy to do that on Paint. So once you've done adding all the elements, you can always come back and make minor changes to make everything align perfectly. So moving on to the next element that we're adding here, which is the exhibition zone. We've already configured the setting for that. we've positioned the hotspot, and we have put the background template as well. We've put the hotspot color, so we're good to go. And I'm going to save that. Um, and now what we're going to do is create your exhibition area, which should be blank as of now because um, no, it should reflect the template that we just put here. I'm sorry, we just added that setting, so it should reflect that there. Now we're going to go ahead and brand this entire space, which is very simple to do. Just one new thing that we'll be learning here is how to add images in the perspective view, which is almost as same as uh, as same as the process that we follow to add flat images onto our template. So it's no different than that. It's just a different top left coordinate that we have to take from how you would normally choose an image slot. So to do that, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add uh, a static image to my exhibition page, which is my exhibition area. So I'll go into that option, and we all know how to add images through the sponsors logo tab. So I'm going to go ahead and add an image here. Now this, as we all know, is going to ask for the image that you want to upload and the tooltip text. So I'm going to call this banner 1. And I'm going to choose my file quickly here, which is my banner 1. And there you go. Once you have chosen this file, what you need to do is you'll see that this file is in a perspective. I'll just show you how this looks like. So we're going to go into our exhibition area, and this is the image that I have gotten from my designer. So if you look at this, you'll see that this image is in a different perspective. So that is because we're going to be adding this to a template that is in that perspective. So this is a PNG file that we're going to be using that omits the background. So you can add that image to the perspective, and all you have to do is pick a different top right corner, which would different in the sense we're not going to be picking this coordinate here, which we would normally do for a straight box, but we'll be picking a different coordinate uh, as our XY coordinate, and we'll be doing that shortly. So now that you have to add the left top and with height coordinates, just go into paint, and I'm going to close that because we're done editing that, and open paint, and there you go. Now what you want to do is it's good if you could just zoom in there. Yeah. And what you want to do now is pick a point that covers all four corners of your slot. How do you do that? It's very easy. Just click on a pen, pencil, or any tool that you would like to use, and click on one edge of your perspective. So this is tilted to the left, so my perspective point is going to be here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this corner here, and I'm going to hold my shift key and draw a line. Don't worry, any of these changes, just don't save that to your actual file, and you should be good to go. I'm going to click on this edge, and I'm going to draw a line again. Now what this is going to do is, since the image is tilted to the left, my perspective point is always going to be on the left side. And now when I go into select, and instead of drawing a box from here, which I would normally do for a straight image, I'll draw a box from the perspective point. It's as easy as that. And when I do that, you will see that I am covering all of my edges. So just touch all of your edges and make sure that none of them are being left out. See that everything is perfectly aligned, and just let that go. Now how do I get my top and left coordinate? doing that is very simple. All you need to do is go into your top left section here and just click on escape. And the moment you do that, the box is going to go away and it is going to give you your X and Y coordinate. So when I click on escape, I'm going to click on my cursor once and it's going to give me my top left coordinate, that is 68 and 117. So let's go ahead and add that here, 68 and 117. And now for the width and height, what you need to do is, just put in the width and height values of your box that you just created. So, move back your cursor to these values, that is 68, 117, and draw that box again. So it should be very easy. Or you could always use your perspective point that you have just created as well. So this should, cover all my points, and this is very easy to do rather than, finding that value again on your template. So there you go. That is the box that I'm going to be taking. So the only difference that you need to know here is, for a perspective image, my box is going to go outside that image because we're going to be using a PNG. And for a flat image, for a normal image slot, you know that you have to match all the corners to get the width and height ratio because we're not going to omit any of the background here. But when you're working with the perspective image slot, your box is going to look like this. It's going to touch all the corners and it's going to also move on to the background a bit, but that is going to be omitted because we're using a PNG file. So let's go ahead and add these values onto our backend on our admin portal now. So 143 and 207. That's it. We've added all the files and all the settings. Let's see how is that reflected on our exhibition page. And if you see that image has been added here perfectly, and I'm going to just go ahead and open my spec sheet again. So let's go ahead and let's do that. Spec sheet should be right here. Oh, there's another way to do this. Just a moment. And there you go. This is the spec sheet that we've been using so far. And you'll see that all the coordinates for your exhibition area have already been filled in here. And now that we know how to add images in the perspective, let's quickly do that for slot 2 as well so that you get a better idea. All you need to do is, let's do this for an image that is tilted towards the right now. So when your image is tilted towards the right, your perspective point is going to come on the right hand side. So just select a marking tool and pick your top right corner because your image is tilted towards that side, and draw this line and click on your bottom right corner and sorry about that. Yeah, let's do that again. Click on your bottom right corner and just hold on shift and it should draw a straight line. And once you do that, you should have your perspective point again. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that right here. And this should give me my image slot box. Just make sure you're touching all the corners. And now let's leave it at that. And all you have to do is move your cursor to the top left of your image slot box, which is what we do to get our top left coordinates. So move your cursor there to the edge, and now that you left it there, just click on escape and it should open the box, and just click once onto that page and it should give you your set of coordinates, which is 1 2 2 7 and 3 9. So this is the coordinate that I'm going to be entering here when I add another image, which is the right image. So now that we know how to get our coordinates for, and of course, when you're getting your width and height ratios, you would want to draw that box again, matching all the corners. And this is your width and height ratio, the second value that is here. Now that we know how to do that, we're just going to go ahead and quickly add all the images that we have onto our page here, because we already have the values recorded for them on our spec sheet. So I'm going to quickly open that and I'm going to yeah, let's start filling out the details. We've already selected panel 2. The left and right coordinates for panel 2 is 594 and 18. Width and height is 105 and 189. Let's go and add another image now, which is our banner 3. Choose the file for third option, which is tilted towards the right. So let's pick up the coordinate for that, which is 1228 and 40. And your width and height is 110 and 185. Save and add another to add your final banner on your exhibition area page. Your final banner in perspective, that is. Get that value from your spec sheet. And the height is 218. So that's it. We've added all the 4 banners here. So we're going to see if that is reflected on our exhibition page. And there you go. All the 4 banners have been positioned into your perspective image slots. Now we're going to go ahead and add banners onto our exhibition booth. So these are the 3 exhibition booths that we're going to be designing. The number of exhibition booths that you design, the look and feel of this page, all of that can be customized with a different template. For the sake of this session, we're going to be creating 3 exhibition booths. So let's go ahead and add the banners to each one of them, from sponsor logos in the exhibition in the exhibition settings. So I'm just going to add. So this is if you look at the template, you'll see that this is a basic flat image slot that we've already worked with, and which is very easy to add. You know the drill. Just click on the top left, you get your top left coordinates, and draw this box to get your width and height ratio. We've done that a lot of times now, so it shouldn't be very difficult. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add exhibition banner 1. So there we go, exhibition banner 1. And I'm going to use my I'm going to go ahead and use my files that I want to upload there, and I'm going to go ahead and get the slot details. So these were the 4 banners that we filled out, and these are the 3 exhibition banners that we're going to be entering now. So it says 451 and 382. So 451 and 382. The width and height ratio is 166 and 61. Save and add another, and we're going to enable that, and this is going to be exhibition banner 2. Going to choose that file there, and we're going to pick up the coordinates, that is 810 and 329, and our width and height ratio is 172 and 61. Going to quickly add the final banner now. Just going to rename that to 3, and I'm going to go ahead and use this. And going to pick up the coordinates from here quickly. That is 1186 and 381. And the width and height for that is 170 and 62. So let's go ahead and save that now. So we're going to save this, and all of that is going to be reflected onto our page here. So, and now if you look at your exhibition area, it is completely branded, and now what we would have to do is hotspots for booth 1, booth 2, and booth 3. So we're going to be doing just that now. Sorry about that. So yeah, you need to add your exhibition um, page hotspots. That is going to lead to your exhibition booths in exhibition booths here. So this is the option that you need to select from the column on the left under exhibitions to add individual exhibition booths to your exhibition page. So I'm going to go ahead and add 3 exhibition booths onto my exhibition area. So I'm going to click on enable, and I'm going to click on the page title, and I'm going to change the name to exhibition booths number 1. I'm going to go ahead and choose the file that I want to display. So I'm going to go ahead and choose this. So the background image for my exhibition booth has to be the template that we're going to use to be reflected onto your page. So the file that I actually want to choose for that is under exhibition booth. So this is a separate set of resources that I've gotten from my design team specifically for exhibition booths. So this is the template that we are going to be working with for exhibition booth 1. So I'm going to go ahead and upload that here under exhibition booth 1 hotspot color. We've kept all our hotspots in the orange tone, so we're going to go ahead and put that paste here. And hotspot tooltip text is going to say click for booth 1. And now let's just quickly pick the points where we want them to be positioned. So I'm going to position them right here. So I want my hotspot to be here, which is 528 and 612. So I'm going to take that value there, 528 and 615. Let's go ahead with that. So 528 and 615, 528 and 615, and your width and height is by default set to 20. So I'm going to save that, and I'm going to go back to my exhibition area page, and that hotspot should be reflected there. So we need to change the values, and we're going to do that once we put all 3 of our hotspots there. So in fact, let's just go ahead and do that now. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to record that coordinate, that is 509 and 615. So let's go ahead and do that, 509 and 615. So changing this to 509, let's leave this at 615, and let's see what happens. So yeah, it's slightly better. Now I'm going to go back to my template and I'm going to find that position again. That is 509 and 615. So that should work. 509 and 615. So we're going to try to find that again, and yeah, this should do it. It's pretty close to my original point, and there you go. So I'm going to draw this from here. Oh, well, actually, I would want to draw with the marking tool. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that here so I can find my point. And yeah, that is 85. That is close enough. And I'm going to just draw this line here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick my point from this same line. And that should give me the coordinate for my next hotspot. So for that, I'm going to be placing it at 901 and 618. So let's go ahead and add that. 901 618. The position for the width and height ratio is always set 20 by default, which is what we like to follow, and this is going to be exhibition booth 2. I'm going to go ahead and choose the file for exhibition booth 2. Hotspot color is something that we've already gotten here, so I'm just going to paste it there, and this is going to be click for booth 2. It's that easy to configure another hotspot. So we're going to save this, and we'll be adding another for exhibition booth 3. So for that we're just going to choose the third template. We're going to open that. Hotspot color is something that we've already copied from our HTML color codes page. This is going to say click for exhibition booth 3. Click for booth 3 to follow a standard format. And the left and top coordinates for this is again something that we're going to be getting from Paint. Yeah, I think that's going to go 1286 and 618. So 1286 and 618. 618, and you want this to be at 20 by default, which is default as in which is what we like to think of it as a standard for the hotspots that we add onto the page. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. Now that I've added all 3 hotspots for my booth 1, booth 2, and booth 3, you should see that all of them are in that line that we just drew. So if you make a grid on your template, that should also make your job easier. It's as simple as that, and we've now added our 3 exhibition booths here. So what is going to happen now here is once your guest or your attendee has logged into your lobby page, they're going to want to click on exhibition area, and that is going to lead them to the exhibition area, which you can of course customize in terms of the branding that you're putting in here. So this should open your first exhibition booth. So we are quickly going to be branding this with this 3 perspective image boxes that you see here, our perspective image slots, and we're going to be using these 3 slots as our video slots. So let's get started. And we're also going to be making this page interactive. We're going to add a chat widget here so that your sales team or anyone that you assign to man this particular exhibition booth can become an agent for that chat, and we're going to learn how to do that on doc.to, which is the same widget that we used here in the help desk. So if you look at that widget there, you'll see that this is offline right now because we are not logged into doc.to. And if you remember, this was also something that we could configure. Last time we looked at doc.to settings. This was the offline message. So any message that I send in now will be registered as an offline message on doc. So we're going to create a different property with a different agent for your exhibition area so that you do not mirror the chats between the two, and you can always have a different channel to address your sales queries. So let's go to booth 1 and let's open this file on Paint, which I've already done here. And let's add our first image, which is again a perspective image. So we know the drill. I would need a perspective point to cover all of my edges, and because this is tilted towards the left, my perspective point is going to be on the left. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this part over here, and I'm just going to drag my window and touch all of the edges. Make sure none of the edges are outside the box or too far beyond it. And there you go. I think that touches all the four corners, and there you have it. That is your perspective image box, and that is your uh, ratio that you would want to be noting for your width and height. And this right here is your top left and top right coordinate. So just click on that, and this should give you the value 675 and 75. Since I already have all of these values recorded in the spec sheet, which is ready for exhibition booth 1, we're going to go ahead and start configuring the branding for this. So what you need to do is go into your sponsor logos, and you'll see that the exhibition page sponsor logos is different than the exhibition booth sponsor logos. So because we're adding sponsor logos to the exhibition booth, that is where we'll be going. Click on this button, follow your routine, and just type in here your text here, what you want to call it. I'm going to call this exhibition booth 1, banner 1. I'm going to choose my file for that, and let's move on with select folder for that. Let's choose your first image, your first file. So I'm going to open that, and I'm going to put the coordinates for that as well from my spec sheet that I have here. So the first coordinate that I want to enter is 153 and 7. So I'm going to go ahead and add that here. The width and height is 127 and 97. And I have to make sure that I add this to exhibition booth 1 so that it is displayed on exhibition booth 1 on the first slot. So this is done, and I'm going to save it now. Let's see if the front end picked it up, and there you go. Your front desk for your exhibition booth has been branded, and we're going to quickly add image slot number 2 and slot number 1 as well. So exhibition booth 1, banner 2, choose that file from there, and just go ahead and just select that, and you should be good to go. Put in the coordinates, that is 689,511. Your width and height ratio is 251,3. And we're going to add this to booth 1, so I'm going to go ahead and save that. And just you have to remember that you need to enable all the changes that you make for them to be displayed on your page, and there you have it. And we're going to quickly add third booth, which is exhibition booth 1, banner 3. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that banner left top coordinates for that, which is 676 and 74. Ratio is 268 and 192. Let's assign this to exhibition booth 1, and there you go. This should complete branding our three image slots that we had here, and these we're going to be using to add video hotspots. Now, it is very easy to do that. All you need to do is go into um, your exhibition booth um, videos section and just click on this button here, and it should give you this form here. Just go ahead and select your source. So I'm going to be selecting Vimeo as my source here, and I want to show the view on a hotspot, so I'm going to click on hotspot here for now. And hotspot color is something that we already have here. Just copy that and paste here. And let's go ahead with this Vimeo URL, and you know how to get a Vimeo URL. It's pretty simple, so we're not going to do that again. And let's just quickly position our hotspot. So I want it to appear on the center here. So I'm going to pick that up, and that point is 1163 and 597. So 1163 and 597, and my width and height is going to be our standard hotspot size that we go ahead with, and I'm going to add this to boot 1. So that has configured our first video, and I'm going to save and add another one here. Video, which we're going to YouTube. We're going to add that as a hotspot, and we're going to put in a YouTube video URL here. So let's pick up the XY coordinates. And the XY coordinate for this would be 1437 and 595. So 1437, 595, and because we're adding this as a hotspot, our default or the standard hotspot with the height ratio that we follow is 20 by 20. So I'm going to go ahead and save that here. My third video hotspot, which is going to be Vimeo, and I'm going to just choose that same URL. I'm going to display third video slot as well, and I'm going to pick the same shade that we have been using for the hotspots, and I'm going to quickly pick up my values from here, and that should be good. 1603 and 597. So 1603 and 597, and of course, since we're going ahead the hotspot, this is set to 20, and I'm going to assign this to booth 1. So there you go. You have all your information here set, and in case you want your video to display like we've been doing it in the lobby or the help desk or any other page, you can select on page here, and if you have, that depends, if you have like a video slot available on your template, so you can go ahead and choose on page, and you can choose the coordinates for that file. But since we're adding this as hotspots to the exhibition booth, we're going to select as a hotspot, and we're going to go ahead and save this now. So all my three settings have been configured, and this says that this does not have a Vimeo URL, but it has a YouTube URL instead, because YouTube is selected as the source here. So you can review your settings from here, and all you need to do now is click on refresh, and you should have your two hotspots. There was some issue with the second setting that we did here. I think we did not assign it to booth 1. So ensure that you assign your setting to a particular booth so that it is reflected on that booth, and now it should be visible here. So you're seeing three hotspots that are play our video URL that we have embedded. So this is the video that we have embedded here, which is also the same, but you see that the source here is different. It's picking up your source from YouTube. So all of that is possible with Platoo. Here you can add your video as a hotspot. You can also take it a step further, and you can design creative. So your image slot would become a creative on your template with a space for this particular hotspot, and you can have your branding, your sales message, your positioning statement there, and you can have your video embedded into that creative to take it a step further. So this is how you add these hotspots to the template, and this is how you add perspective branding as well. And now it's time to add a chat widget here. So we know that the process to do that is very simple, and all you need to do is log on to doc.do. So sign into chat widgets and chat properties basically with the members who are allowed to access that particular widget or man that particular widget as an agent. So we're going to learn how to do that just now. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new property first, and I'm going to call this sales, and I'm going to name this as exhibition booth 1. So sales exhibition booth 1, and the slide URL is always going to be platoo.in, and I'm going to go on to next, and this is the widget code that I want to copy. This is the exact process that we followed to add a chat widget onto our help desk, if you remember. So I'm just going to copy this code from here, and I'm going to click on done, and this should create my new property, my new widget. Then I'm now going to go into my back end and add this to my exhibition booth 1. So to do that, we have to click on exhibition booth chat configurations option. When you do that, you should get the option to add a chat booth, a background color. If you remember, was the background color for your chat box that is going to for a chat box icon that is going to appear here, and we would want the chat box to appear here, or in this case, you can have it anywhere that you wish to. You can have it on the top left corner, you can have it on the top right corner. In this case, we're going to try and position our chat box in the top right corner. Let's go ahead and do that quickly. Build background color, we want to pick a shade of white. I think that is good to go. Quickly paste that here, and I'm going to say sales support, and I want my tooltip text to sorry, actually that was my tooltip text that should come here, and text color is of course your HTML hex code, that is the color that you want to pick, and we want that to be of this shade. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to put that here. I'm going to put my tooltip text as sales support, and now I'm going to go and select the type of chat that will be enabling here. So this is going to be a third-party chat that we're configuring because we're using doc, and I'm going to go and I'll have to copy my widget code once again, since copied the color code. So I have copied the widget code again. You can do that from here on the chat widget. Let's quickly add that here. Internal chat link is something that will be coming to shortly. Tooltip text is your sales support, the button that you're going to configure here, and your top position is simply where you want your widget to show. So for me, that is going to be, so we're not going to be capturing the left position, we'll only be capturing the top position from here. So I think this is good enough. So it's 403. Left position is 0 by default. So I'm going to position this at 403 and show in on the left side. And remember to add that to exhibition booth 1. Let's enable that and let's see what happens. So when I refresh this now, I should get my sales support chat here. So since we want to change this like we changed it for the help desk to match our Platoo colors, and we also want this to be positioned up here, we're going to go ahead and change that setting now, which is very easy to do. If you remember, you just select your widget color from here. So we want to select shade of orange. So let's quickly move on to that section there, and let's go to, let's select, there we go. This color fine. Advanced, and let's change our agent message shade as well. Let's go ahead with that, and this is where you can change your widget position. So since we want our chat widget to show on the top right corner, I'm going to choose this as an option now. And of course, the height and width is something that I do not want to change in this case. So I'm going to leave that setting, and I'm going to quickly edit the content that says, um, how may I help? Since we're configuring a sales chat, it's just, it's good to keep it simple. When away it says, will be back shortly. So that's done. We've changed the content, we've changed the colors. Let's just quickly check if that is being reflected here. And yes, of course it is. You can see that the chat has been embedded here, but it is not being displayed on the top right corner like it should be. Why is that? So we have successfully now we're going to quickly colors, and we're also going to change the message that it displays, which is very similar to what we did with the help desk chat. So if you remember the process there, you just go up and pick up shade of orange, and I think this is good. So I'm going to keep the widget color to this shade. Click on advanced, and you can change your widget message shade as well. So let's quickly do that, and that's good to go. And when you click on, so this is where you can change your widget position, this is where you can change the width and height, but I do not wish to change those settings now. I'm just going to click on save, and I'm going to close this, and I'm going to try to edit the content. So when it's online, we're going to set this to how may I help. So this is the text that it will display onto your widget. So when you're away, it will say will be back shortly, which is something that I just changed here. So you can just type this here. And so I've already typed all the changes that we need to make, just showing you how it's done once again. And this is how it's going to look when it's offline. So there you go. And now we're going to, so these are the options that you can use to extend this form, but I think name, email, and your message is good enough. In case you need the phone number as well, you can click on this option here and it will add that to your form. Let's go and save this now. And we've got our text content changed as well. So that should, all of that should be reflected onto our front end. So we're going to go and refresh that. You'll see that the widget color changed, and the chat with the message and everything that we saw earlier is changed now. Um, you have your welcome message. Now we're going to add an agent to this chat. So what we would want to do is click on property members under this section here. So just with chat widget, you click on, so chat widget can be accessed from, um, so go to your property, that is sales exhibition booth 1, and just click on this option on the bottom left corner that says administration, and that should give you the settings in case you're navigating from your home tab. So once you click on that, this leads you to your dashboard, and if you were to access your option, and here we are. So to add a property member to this tab, I'm going to have to select under user management from the left column. I can click on property members, and that will show me the current active agent, which is so this is my profile, so this is me. I've got my admin rights enabled onto this particular property, which is the sales booth chat. Now we're going to invite a member to our property. Doing that is very simple. You just click on this button here that says invite member, and all you need to do now is enter their email address. So I'm just going to quickly add that email address here, and that should send an invite to that particular user. So this could be anybody who's a part of your team. It could be somebody from the client's end. It could be you know any person that you want to man that particular chat widget. So we're going to send this invitation, and that should send an email invitation to that person. So if that person is already if that person already has an account on Talk, he'll get a link that will redirect him to this dashboard, or if that person is not registered with Talk, he'll get a link to first create an account, and then that person will be directed to your chat, and you can see that under current here. To give you an example, this is another page that I already have my friend Sumit as agent. So you see that there is no tick beneath the admin section. So Sumit has been enabled for the role of an admin for this. Sorry, has been enabled for the role of an agent for this particular property. So what we're going to do now is when you click at current, you'll see all the members that are here, and when you click at pending, you will see that email that I sent to another attendee who's supposed to be a part of this property here. So you can add as many agents that you want here, and you can also add one agent is good enough to man one property. You can also decide the role that that particular agent is going to have. So if you click on that agent's name, you'll see that you can change the role, you can change the agent status from here. So that is it. That is how you add members to your chat widget. And now when somebody sets a query here, Sumit should also be able to view that and should be able to manage this particular section. So that's how you add members to your property, and that's how you add different chats to your different booths. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create two more properties, and we're going to add them to our exhibition booth 2 and exhibition booth 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to add exhibition 2, and we're going to add Platoo.in as the URL. Going to quickly copy this, go back to your backend, add a chat exhibition booth configuration. Fill color can be set to or to your previous option that you selected. Click on third party on the chat type. Internal chat is something that will be happening shortly. Tooltip text says sales support, and your top position is, let's say we keep that at 400, and we position that to the left, and we assign this to booth 2. Save and add another, and now we are going to have to quickly create another property here for exhibition booth 3. So we'll create another property for exhibition 3. We'll put in the URL as Platoo.in. We'll quickly capture the code and we'll paste that here. We'll set these two values to default. That is the last selection that we took, something that we'll cover at a later stage, and this will be sales support again. Let's position this at 400 as well. Now we go ahead and assign this to booth 3 this time, and there you have it. So we have just added chats to 3 of our exhibition booths. So this is your exhibition booth 1. When you navigate down to exhibition booth 2, you should see that the chat is active here as well. But since we've not configured the settings, and I think we need to change the color of our tooltip text here as well. So this is the default setting, so we're just going to go ahead and change all of that now. So let's move on to exhibition booth 2, which is already been branded. So you can of course get your designer. So if you're only going to be working with static images, you can always have your designer to readily put them on your image slots, so that you don't have to add them manually. But of course, if you want rotating images, you can do that. So I'm going to change the tooltip text color here for my exhibition booth 2, so which is this value here. So I'm going to go there, and I think we've selected the same color for both of them. So we're just going to quickly select a shade of white here now, copy that, paste it here, and save that. That should take care of that particular button. So yeah, there you go. We're going to quickly configure this now. So let's go to our exhibition tool. Let's quickly change our widget color. Let's change that. So for now we're doing this, we're not changing the text because I've already showed you how to do that. It's pretty simple, and you can just do that from here under edit content. So we're going to quickly change the colors for booth 3 now. And let's just go ahead with that. Let's quickly change the agent message as well. And there you go. You save that, and that should be reflected here now. So the color has been changed. We know how to change this content as well, but we're not doing that for now because we've already done that about twice now, once for the help desk and once for exhibition 1. So let's see how exhibition 3 looks like. There you go. You have your exhibition 3, which again has the same problem. So I'm going to go ahead and change my accent color, my tooltip text color to white, and that should fix that problem. So what we're going to do now is we're going to two creatives here and a video here. Also, you would want to notice that a part of this image for exhibition 3 is cropped out. Now, if I do this, I see my entire image being displayed. So what I've done is I've just minimized my window, my screen, and what that does is it resizes your page. So because I'm working with this configuration, this is the part of my exhibition booth area that has been optimized for my browser window. So every time a user signs in, your page is optimized to meet the current resolution. So we're going to quickly configure exhibition booth 3 now with a few images. So let's go on and add sponsored images to our exhibition booth 3. So slot 1 enable, let's choose the image for that. So you would want to go to your resource that you have your exhibition booth 3 saved, and see a bunch of images that you can use. So I'm going to go ahead and use that, and I'm going to quickly pick up the coordinates from my spec sheet, which is 727 and 403. And the width and height is 197 and 113. And we're going to save that now. Let's see if our front end picked it up, and there you go. So we're going to quickly add the next image as well, and then we're going to add a video. This time that video is going to be on screen. So just go ahead and choose your next image, enable that, open your spec sheet, get your information for your next slot, which is 969 and 403. Width and height is 195 and 115. And we want to add this to our 3. So this could be sort of 2, and we save that now. Now we're going to add a video to our exhibition booth 3. So doing that is very simple. All you have to do is click on exhibition booth videos under here, and click on add exhibition booth video. Hotspot color is let's pick this shade. Let's go ahead with Vimeo source, and the same video URL. You can of course choose n number of URLs that you have and embed that here. Whatever you prefer, we're just going to work. Go ahead with the Platoo video again, and I'm going to quickly get my coordinates for the main screen here from Paint. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly Paint. So you want to open that, and you want to get your demo video. So this is the slot that we want the coordinates for. We've done this a lot of times now, and I'm pretty sure you have gotten very handy when it comes to this. So all you have to do is click the cursor to the top left corner, and you get your value, which is 765 and 615 in this case. So 765 and 615. And now it's time to collect our width and height ratio, which is going to be 376 by 225. So 376 by 225, and we're going to assign this to exhibition booth 3. So now that we have added this video, the only change that we're going to do here this time, because we have added the video slot resolution details here, uh, video slot proportion details here, we're going to go ahead and put this on the page instead. So let's save this and let's see what happens here. And you should see the video being played on your video slot here. So it's that simple. I'm just going to quickly add these two banners as well. Something to make a note of, since this image here can, very often be cropped, because uh, these are the pixels that you want to avoid. Let's open this image on paint here, and if you draw this line, and if you just draw sort of a line here, you will see that, you know um, your this particular value, that is 7 1 and 1011, is something that you should normally create sort of a margin around that, so that you do not put any important content like your your hotspots or your branding. You don't want to put that here, because this, in the optimization process that every browser follows, there is, a chance of your information getting missed if it is placed in this section over here. So everything that we're going to be adding, we're going to try and add that here. So let's just quickly add, complete branding our exhibition booth. So I'm not going to add any content here because that might get cropped, but I will add a banner here. So that is 1448 and 830. So 1448 and 830, 1448 and 830. Now we want the width and height ratios, which is very simple to get. So that is 297 by 96. So 297 by 96. And you add this to exhibition booth 3. That goes without saying. And I'm going to enable this now. And I'm going to save it. So of course I did not add the image there. So you won't upload that file as well. And we save that. So yeah, it's done successfully. Let's refresh this, and our banner should be picked up. I think we entered the wrong value here in terms of the width and height ratio. So I'm just going to quickly check that once again. Let's do that. 300.94. So let's change that on the back end here. Let's select the one that we just used. There it is. Change this issue. Oh, that is because we have taken image here. We want to take this image instead. So we picked the wrong image. There was nothing wrong with this value. We had just put the wrong image there. Video here, you have your branding. You've got your chat box here. You know how to add property members, how to change your chat widget, and just to show you once more, where you can see the property members that have been added to your page. So this is where you can see your property members and their roles. And that's how simple it is. Just make sure that you create a new property every time you're adding a doc.do widget onto your page for a one-on-one chat. So doc allows us to interact with a person that is the dedicated resource to handle that query. In this case, in this case, it's the help desk. Whereas in this case, it is somebody who would probably be from a sales team. So that's all in terms of everything that you need to know in order to create your exhibition booth and your exhibition area. Of course, if you want to add rotating images here, you can always add a rotating image instead of your base template. So doing that is very easy as well, and we've already done that countless times before. Just go to rotating image settings. Sorry, that's the auditorium. Just go into your rotating image settings in case if you want that to be added to your exhibition booth, or if you want it to be added to your exhibition page. You click on the exhibition page rotating image settings, and you just add the XY coordinate from here. So you choose your, so this is where you add your rotating image from, and this is your rotating image settings. So this is where you add your rotating image setting, and you just put in your left top coordinates with your width and height for the rotating image widget to appear on your screen. And of course you can add your images from this section and assign them to your rotating image banners that you create in the first step. So it's as simple as that. That's all you need to know to create an interactive and customized exhibition area, and that's what you need to know to design your exhibition booths. Moving on, we'll be covering the engagement zone.